Practice is not just to pick up the bass initially, it's to figure out
Right.
to transcribe.
Yeah.
You'll literally write it out before you
Yeah.
even
So
practice it.
transcription, when somebody sends me a piece of music, I rarely touch the bass. I that's where the theory comes in. I can learn the song. So there's practice. Okay, practice is like, I consider practice to be where I'm sitting here and I'm actually practicing how to play the instrument. Learning a piece of music is not necessarily sitting there with the instrument in your hand.
Okay.
I practice in my own free time so that when somebody sends me a piece of music, I don't have to sit there with the instrument and just practice the mechanics of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I practice with the instrument so that I don't have to have an instrument in my hands all the time. You practice just to stay prepared. You have to be prepared. But because of what I do, like I said, I get a lot of last minute calls for things. So I have to be prepared for whatever someone's going to throw at me. A couple weeks ago, I did a big band gig. Big band gig, they give you a stack of music like that thick that you probably never heard before, and you have to sight read all that music in real time with a band. Usually the way those gigs go, every piece of music is numbered. The band leader will say, "All right, everybody, number 31. 1, 2, 1, 2," and you
Turn the page and get started.
Yeah, you have no time to sit there and try to figure out, what key am I in? How many sharps? Oh, okay. There's no time for any of that. You have to be able to just go.
What and where is a big band gig?
What is a big band gig? Big band is old school 19-piece horn section. That's big band. Like what people usually think of, like 1940s, 30s, stuff like that.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, stuff like sing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's big band.
Not a vocalist. You probably picked out every wrong note right there while I was sitting there.
You did good.
So, so big band gig, but you also play for. You can get called for the Chicago Symphony to play an up bass. There's an upright bass, y'all.
Yeah,
in the corner of the room. So you also get called to do that symphony work.
Yeah. I get called for symphony work. So I want people to know that I am prepared to do whatever it is that they need me to do as a working bass player. I try not to limit myself. People ask, well, what genre are you? I don't have a genre. I try to do several genres well. That way, I get a lot of rock calls. I get a lot of pop calls. I get, a fair amount of, I guess what people call gospel. I get a fair amount of folk gigs. I get some bluegrass.
Wow. Bluegrass.
So I try to just be prepared for whatever is coming, because I never know who's going to call me. Here's another thing. I just want to say this. I know that people change phone numbers a lot of times. This is a musician tip. I know you didn't ask me for this one, but as a musician, get a phone number and don't change it. I've had the same phone number since college, and that was the first cell phone I ever purchased. I've had several opportunities to change the number, but I'm always thinking like somebody from years ago might want to get in contact with
That's
me.
A good point. That's a good point. Or get two lines where one
stays consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. So you might know this, you might not. I played with an artist named Janelle Monáe. Janelle is she's like a pop artist. We did I did Saturday Night Live with her. I did Arsenio, Today Show, Jules Holland. I did the White House twice with her. She's a working artist. She actually has a movie coming out right now. But anyhow,
I like Janelle Monáe. She's said a lot about she's very social aware.
Yeah.
I love that about her
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Aside from the music, I love that too.
Yeah.
Carry on.
All right. So the story about how I got that gig was I was in 2006. I was doing Avery Sunshine's doing a recording session for Avery Sunshine. She's also a pop artist. On that gig, it was myself and a couple other guys, and there was a guy named Terrence Brown playing keyboard. And we exchanged information, and then several years went by. In 2011, I think it was, I was loading, might have been 12, one of those years. I was loading my gear in for like some gig, like downtown Atlanta, just like a regular, just regular, just kidding him, just a regular gig in town. And that night, a number popped up on my phone, and so I answered it, and the guy's like, "Hey, this is Terrence Brown. I'm not sure if you remember me or not, but we did Avery Sunshine's studio session stuff together." He says, "I'm kind of calling to see if you would be interested in doing a gig with somebody named Janelle May." And I was like, yeah. I was loading in. I was like, "Can I call you back?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." So I played the gig and I forgot. And the next day I'm at my house, and I'm just kind of hanging around the house, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh man, I forgot to call him back." And I was like, "What's the artist's name? Couldn't remember the artist's name. And I finally remembered, and I Googled her, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I almost broke my phone trying to call him back, because I was like, I'm not one to listen to the radio, and I'm not really up on a ton of pop culture. If I'm working a pop gig, I know stuff about it, but I'm just kind of an old school guy. So anyway, yeah, I was like, wow. So I called him back, and that's how I got Janelle Monáe's gig.
Awesome. I'm glad you didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Were you close to missing it?
Well,
because you forgot?
I guess I could have been. But the main point was my phone number had not changed.
And your phone number had not changed. Yeah.
So
I'll focus on that.
Yeah, that was what,
not you forgetting.
5-6 years later that I got a call.
That's true.
And that also leads me to another thing. I try to treat everybody right, and a reason that you want to treat everybody right is because you never know who you're going to run into down the line. Terrence was not Janelle's music director when I met him. He was just another session musician. And apparently I made enough of an impression on him to where all those years later, he had not seen me in 5-6 years to call me. So you always want to, no matter who it is, just try to, be kind to people, do a really good job on every gig, whether you think it's a big gig or not. It might be at a hole in the wall in the middle of Boondock, Georgia or something. You still want to make sure you do the best job that you possibly can, because you never know.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching all the time, and even if you think the person might be a janitor working a gig, that person's still a person, and you still want to treat them with respect.
Yes.
2 reasons, like one, it's just a good thing to treat everybody, with respect, whether they can do something for you or not. But 2, they might be able to give you some business on the road.
Right. So. We need to know that, especially in this area, because we have a tendency to treat people based on where they are in life at that moment. I see a lot of that around here, and you don't know where that person's going to be in 5 years.
Right.
Even musicians, if they're not where they need to be right now, be very careful, because even if they end up in some other outlet of music, then they can be your connection. Right. For something else. So good that you said that. And you spoke of other genres, or how did you know that what genres you like to listen to, or do you actually like all of them, and you just disciplined yourself to do so?
A lot of it's I actually do like a lot of genres. You want to know my favorite kind of music? You're gonna laugh at me.
And don't tell me bluegrass or country.
Well, she said not to tell you.
You know what? Both of us are country. This is one of the most comfortable interviews because both of us are country people. I had to literally get out of that dress and all this makeup earlier when he graciously decided to reschedule this, and now I am comfortable. Both of us, we're from the South. We drive trucks.
Yep.
I grew up around chickens, horses, pigs, all
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Yeah. We had goats.
See? That's what I'm talking about right there. So bluegrass, and actually there's a couple.
Not necessarily bluegrass, but country.
Country.
Yeah. Country is my genre. My years for country were right around 2000 to 2010. It got really strong, and I'll tell you why. Not because of the lyrics, not really even because of the vocals. What I realized that those years, country music had some really strong rhythm sections. I believe that a bass player should always lock with the drummer.
Okay, now we're going to take a break. We'll be back with you in a moment.